We're on the air live tonight. 1-800-39-ONLINE. 1-800-396-6546 is the number.
Online tonight.
Now stay tuned for a commercial break and 28 minutes of dead air.
And now, from the craziest city on the planet, this is Online Tonight, on the air toll-free at 1-800-39-ONLINE, 1-800-396-6546. And now, the host of Online Tonight, Max.
Hey, that's me. I'm Max. Welcome to the show. This is Online Tonight, where we talk about the latest in tech, pop culture, and more. More for me includes things like theme parks, video games, food, zoos, movies, TV series, streaming. I want you to think of things like that. I don't talk about politics. There's plenty of other people out there that are way better than I am on that topic. So I'm going to stick with what I know, which is mostly tech. And Online Tonight's been here since 1994 to help you with your tech questions. So if you have something that's maybe being a little awkward and you want some help, anything but a printer. I'm happy to talk to you about anything but a printer. I'll help you buy a new printer. But if it's not printing, I mean, that sometimes takes 2 hours via remote control and doesn't usually fit well on radio. So don't ask me for how can I get it to print. But if you want to know different printers, I own a ton of different printers, from wide format to laser printers to dot matrix to sublimation to... So we can talk about those things if those are things that you're interested in, if you're a crafter or things like that. But if you got a computer, a cell phone, a TV, or whatever, I'm going to do my best to help you solve any problems that you have. And the best way to get in is our toll-free telephone number, 1-800-39-ONLINE, 1-800-396-6546. That way we can have a conversation. You can be my eyes and ears. I always have follow-up questions. And the best time to call, of course, is while we're live, which is right now, unless we're not. Maybe you're listening to the archive or the podcast, but you know that if you get something that was pre-recorded and downloaded, we're not live. But if you're listening to any of our radio affiliates or our online streams or anything like that, we're probably live right now. You can also check on the YouTube to see if the video's up. And if that's up, then we're live as well, unless that's pre-recorded. You get it. You know what's going on. Mostly Saturday nights between 8 and 11 p.m. Pacific time. If you're not listening live, you can still participate. I'm still happy to answer your questions. Drop me a note, show@onlinetonight.com. That's SHOW @onlinetonight.com. We also have a text and a voicemail number, 951-395-1017. Data rates may apply. Leaving a voicemail is your authorization to broadcast your likeness. So now the legal department is happy. That number again, 951-395-1017. The email and the text voicemail, those work 24/7. So just drop us a note when you feel like it. Victoria is producing the show, answering your calls, got ahead of myself, and checking your messages on all the different platforms. And as you know, I like to buy tech products, and sometimes I get a little carried away. Like right now, I'm trying to figure out, which PlayStation bundle I want. And then those can get pricey. And all to play one game. So I find that my credit card balances are getting a little bit higher, and sometimes I might play card roulette, and that's not a good situation to be in. So how can you get help with that? Well, there are people out there that can help you, like the Debt Helpline. You're going to talk to a real person. They're going to listen to you. They're going to ask you questions. You're going to tell them what your financial goals are, and then they're going to help you pay off those cards with just one easy, very manageable, low monthly payment. All you have to do is give them a call. It's a quick, free 5-minute call. Doesn't hurt, doesn't cost you anything, and they could help you. And I mean, that's what you want, right? 1-800-515-6348, the Debt Helpline, 1-800-515-6348. Let's jump into a little bit of the tech news. Google. And I think the government's actually looking into Google in this area. So this may not be the best time for them to announce this type of thing. But Google is talking about merging Android and Chrome OS into a single operating system. I think what the government's trying to do, and I'm going to stay out of the politics. I think the government is trying to get Google to get rid of Chrome or disconnect Chrome or something. I haven't been paying attention. The president of Google's Android ecosystem is Samir Samat, I believe is how you say it. S-A-M-A-T. I'm going to go with Samat. So I apologize, Samir, if I got it wrong. Confirmed that they are planning this. He was recently interviewed, and he said, oh, yeah, no, this is what we're doing. And the goal, of course, is to make the devices that run these different operating systems work together better, and also to reduce their code, to have features on both platforms consistently. It makes sense. I get it. It's similar to what Apple's doing in their ecosystem, though Apple has kind of done something weird more recently. Like we have tvOS now, we have iPad OS, we have iOS, we have Mac OS. We're going to have the smart speaker OS. We've got Vision OS. So Apple has kind of had this one thing. It used to just be Mac OS and iOS, and Watch OS. Almost forgot that. And so now Apple seems to be, they're all kind of based on the same things. The frameworks are basically consistent. The kernel might be a little bit different because of the chip that they're using. Like the Apple Watch uses a different chip than Mac OS, and then you've got some iPads with M4s and some iPads with A series, and there's some little tweaks there. But in general, I believe their code base is mostly the same, and then they have a target when they compile, but that gets too advanced. The transition of this Android and Chrome OS becoming one is going to take a little bit of time. They're gonna be building these and incorporating them over time, so you're not going to just see a gigantic quick thing. So that'll be interesting. Some of the advantages is that Android's going to be able to run Chrome OS apps, and Chrome OS is going to be able to run Android apps. I already thought you could do that, but maybe there's some limitations. But they're going to make that. They're going to make that better. Android 16 was introduced on the Samsung DeX style. They have like their own kind of user interface. And so that's available in Android 16, I believe. The change will be more apparent as the release of Android XR and some of the other things that are going to be coming out in the next couple months. Meta has announced a crackdown on unoriginal content. Now, I'm always curious about words like this. And what I mean by that is, who is the committee or who is the individual that decides what content is good or bad? And what is the definition of unoriginal? Let's see if they mention it here. Meta is cracking down on unoriginal content on Facebook, targeting accounts that repeatedly use the same images, videos, and text. And some of that might have been provided by other people. So I guess they're looking for duplication. So maybe that's what they mean by unoriginal. But that could be trouble because sometimes, as a person who likes to comment on other content like videos, I like to watch maybe some gaming stuff, and I'll give some feedback on that. And so I'll show some of the game that person was playing. And that's completely legit. I mean, you can have or a commercial comes out, or a movie trailer will come out, and I'll give some commentary on that. Are they going to see that as unoriginal? All of my commentary is original. Some of my visuals, so that you know what I'm talking about, might be reused. I mean, you're going to have the official trailer. I'm sure you're going to have other people who are excited about one or two characters in that trailer, and they're going to put that in their feed. So, man, it just seems to become messy. I'm all in favor for this AI stuff, like getting rid of the AI narrator and all the AI kind of generated video stuff that goes along with it. I was watching something that I thought was going to help me with a tech problem that I was trying to work out. Even I have tech problems. We learn together sometimes. That's why it's fun for you to call. And I could not get past the first 2 minutes of it because of the AI voice. It was absolutely driving me completely crazy. So apparently there are about 10 million imposter accounts, 500,000 spammy or fake engagement accounts that have been removed or penalized on Facebook recently. Offenders will face reduced content distribution and removal from any of the monetization programs. Duplicate videos will reach, I guess, let me see what it says. Duplicate videos will see their reach limited. Okay, that makes sense. And Meta is testing a system that links viewers to the original content instead. So again, that whole comment about a certain thing could be limited or even just go away. And I think that's unfortunate because I like to hear other people's opinions about something that I watched. 1-800-39-ONLINE is a toll-free telephone number. I'm Max. It's Online Tonight. Stay tuned.
If you're an author interested in turning your works into audiobooks, Narrate Your Own Book is for you. Since 2005, David H. Lawrence XVII has taught 3,000 students the ins and outs of voiceover work, including narration of audiobooks. As an author, your curriculum includes more than the performance and recording aspects of narration. You also learn how to prepare your manuscript to become an audiobook and market it once it's finished. Visit narrateyourownbook.com for more information and a sample class. narrateyourownbook.com.
Look, yo, how do you feel today? Maybe you're a little hungover again, feeling a little embarrassed about a few things? Listen, why haven't you called yet to get help? Man, aren't you tired of feeling this way? So listen, whatever your party drug of choice is, there are ways to get clean and sober, especially if it's messing with your life. Hey man, we all have choices. You can make a choice right here, right now, today, to call the number I'm about to give you and start a brand new life without drugs or booze. I know it's hard to think about this, but imagine how great your life could be. And all it takes is one simple phone call. I've got a team of people standing by ready to check your insurance and let you know what it takes to get clean and sober. Okay, so get ready to save this number because here it comes.
800-814-8628. 800-814-8628. 800-814-8628. That's 800-814-8628. Paid for by the Detox Treatment Helpline.
There's no better way to bond with your cats than with a special treat. Lick and Lap by Vitacraft is a healthy 5-pack saucy tureen snack full of a creamy paste that your cats are going to love. Free from artificial colors, flavors, and preservatives, it's the perfect snack between meals. Lick and Lap is available at Walmart, your local pet stores, and of course, on their website at vitacraft.us.
You can't escape a traffic jam. Know what else you can't escape? Seasonal allergies. And you might think you can avoid that coffee stain until... Oh, really? You can't escape a lot of things in life, but you can escape prediabetes. Prediabetes captures 1 in 3 adults. There are usually no signs of prediabetes. In fact, most people don't even know they have it. But with early diagnosis, you can change the outcome and prevent or delay type 2 diabetes. Take action by taking the 1-minute risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org. You might not be able to escape having this song stuck in your head, but you can escape prediabetes. Go to doihaveprediabetes.org today. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention.
The Native community is big for me. Makes me feel good to pass on our Arapaho traditions. My kids love going up to the Sundance. I like to tell people the Sundance is about family. It's about the tribe. It's not just about the dancer. It's kind of like life. As a Sundancer, I'm just one spoke in the wheel. I need my family there. I need my role models. I need my people there, especially my children. You know, coming in that door, my family is ready to see me and they believe in me. Before, I'd never seen that from my people. But now when I walk in that door and I see those smiling faces and they're happy to see me, that's special. With my 4 kids, all I ask for them in Arapaho ways is health and happiness. Nothing more, nothing less.
Never stop being a dad. That's dedication. Find out more at fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
Online Tonight.
Geek Speak. Geek Speak.
All right, when I was a kid, I did not like English. I did not like history. All of that has changed now. So I like to learn new things, and one of the things I like to learn are tech words. And so I like to share that with you as well, and that's what Geek Speak's all about. It's a tech term where we try to turn it into plain English right before your very ears. This hour's Geek Speak is boot disk, and there's a weird thing about Mac OS too, which we can talk about if you want to, but I don't want to make this too long. First of all, this Geek Speak is powered by Anchor. I'm so excited that Anchor has launched their brand new Nano wireless car charger. Always looking to charge my phone or my watch or something like that in the car, and so I'm very excited. That means that if you have a phone and you want to get QI2 certified 15-watt wireless charging, they now have like a little pad for that. So that's awesome. Plus, the wireless charging pad is detachable, and the charging head rotates 360 degrees and tilts 45 degrees. So it's like a holder and everything for your phone. I don't actually have it. I don't have it in my hand yet, so I haven't had a chance to play with it. But it looks like it's really adjustable, so you can get that perfect view. I don't know what the mounts are like. That's what I mean. I haven't got to play with it yet, but it looks really cool. I'm looking forward to checking it out. And you can check out all the great Anchor products for yourself at onlinetonight.com/anchor, onlinetonight.com/ANKER. Now, boot disk. Let me just 1 second. Gotta wet my whistle, as they say. And I feel I've had enough caffeine for the day, so I'm having a decaf. For those of you visually who are checking it out, you can see what I'm actually drinking. I'm not sponsored by them, so I'm not going to mention it. A boot disk is a startup disk, right? It's what makes the machine work. We go through these little processes. I'll make it really fast. So you got the BIOS, and the BIOS says, do I have a hard drive? Then it goes to the hard drive, then goes to the bootloader, and then the bootloader loads the kernel. Where's the bootloader and the kernel and on the rest of your operating system live? It lives on the boot disk or the startup disk. It's the storage volume in your computer, whether it's a spinning disk or an SSD or NVMe or whatever. It's set up to boot the system. So the default boot disk is typically a computer's internal drive, though you can boot off externally, or an SSD. The disk contains all of the files that are needed to get the thing in all of the perfect steps, in the perfect order, to get that boot sequence exactly right so that the operating system can then get fired up and you'll get your login screen. Or, if you're like me, on some machines, they auto log in. So you can just get to work. Because that's usually the problem. I have got to get to work. While it is most common for a boot to boot a system from the primary internal disk, some computers will allow you to boot off of things like CDs, DVDs, thumb drives, or even external hard drives or SSDs. Starting up from a secondary boot disk can be useful if you want to run some diagnostic tools or maybe an antivirus program, because that way the operating system and the tricks that the virus companies used to trick your operating system into thinking they're not there, well, those aren't running because you've booted off another thing and you've scanned it. So those are great utilities to have. Everybody should have a restore disk, a backup disk, a boot disk, and even a diagnostic disk. I think there are 4 main requirements for a storage device to function as a boot disk. Obviously, the media has to be supported by the hardware, so you have to have a DVD drive. If you're going to put a DVD in there, if you have a CD drive and you put a DVD in there, it ain't going to work. It must be formatted in the correct fashion. Most computers now will do FAT and exFAT. Some will do NTFS. Apple, of course, uses APFS. You got to make sure it's in a format that the computer will understand. It must contain all of the appropriate boot files stored in the right place so that it can get everything in the right order. And of course, it must have an operating system that is supported. So it would make no sense for you to take an Intel-based operating system and put it on an ARM device because it's not going to start up. Even if it could, the language, one is speaking English, one is speaking French, it's not gonna work. Some disk utilities allow you to create custom boot disks, which will be saved to a thumb drive or a DVD. These disks include a very basic utility set to run diagnostics or repair. The goal for this type of thing is to allow you to, in case the internal storage goes kaplooey, you can boot off of that and either restore it or check it or fix it or something like that. So there you are. And I'm not going to get into net booting and all that other stuff because that really doesn't have anything to do with the boot disk or the startup disk. That is this hour's Geek Speak boot disk, and we'll leave you there.
Online Tonight.
Phone lines are open 1-800-39-ONLINE, 1-800-396-6546 is the toll-free telephone number. And don't forget, I am on Instagram and X. I use the same account name on both, @MaxSmartRadio, @MaxSmartRadio. And there you go, Miss Victoria.
We have a text from Smart Home Sam in Saugus, which I believe is in Massachusetts. I went all in on Belkin's Wemo products when they first came out, and a friend recently told me they're being discontinued. Do you have any more details? Does this mean they'll stop working, or they just won't be making new ones?
I feel for you. I feel for you. I went through something similar when Insteon went out of business, and my entire house was on Insteon. And they went bankrupt. Everything worked fine for a while. I had to use like Home Assistant and some of these other things to make it work the way I wanted to. And it went, and then they came back, and then they wanted to charge you a subscription fee. Let me just tell you what happened. Belkin will end support for all Wemo, I'm going to call it Wemo, smart home devices beginning January 31st, 2026. So you have some time. Only those devices configured through Apple HomeKit will continue to function, meaning you have to have a HomeKit like an Apple TV or an iPad or something like that to make these things work. Everything else, like all the infrastructure, the server, all that other stuff, that was Belkin specific, those apparently are going to stop working because all of the cloud-dependent features, like remote access, voice assistant, that's all going kaplooey. So if you have your Belkin on HomeKit, you're going to be okay. A few thread-based models, like the WLS0503, the C10, the P100, etc., those doorbell things, those are going to keep working because, again, they're using HomeKit. Can't rely on the Belkin servers because they're basically going to shut them down. They're going to stop offering, Belkin will stop offering tech support, troubleshooting in January. The devices that are under warranty could maybe be qualify for partial repairs. But again, once we get to January, all that goes away. Belkin made a decision back in 2023 that paused a lot of support on their Matter standard. These are thread-based. And now it's all gone. So I feel for you. You have 6 months or so to either move them onto a HomeKit type device or to basically replace them. And I don't really have any advice on what devices to use. And because I got hit so hard with the Insteon thing, I actually have a bunch of different ones in my house now so that if somebody decides to cancel something, my entire house isn't offline, so to speak. If you're not listening live and you want to submit a question like Smart Home Sam did, feel free to drop me an email, show@onlinetonight, and I'll give you the text when we get back.
Looking for a one-of-a-kind gift or to complete your own collection? Sumerian Collection offers a wide variety of vintage goods with new items added weekly. Books, collectibles, clothing items, jewelry, gadgets, and gizmos galore. Many items are from the 1960s, 70s, and 80s, but exclusive finds from earlier time periods become available as well. Rare vintage items include dolls from around the world and foreign language books. Online shopping at Sumerian Collection is a breeze, with Etsy's secure payment processing and shipping to U.S. locations included free with every purchase. Visit SumerianCollection.etsy.com to see what's new and vintage this week. SAMERIAN Collection.etsy.com. SAMERIAN Collection.etsy.com. Sumerian Collection.
Have you ever met a single person in your life that enjoys paying taxes? No, no one does. If you can't sleep at night because you have a huge problem with the IRS, I've got some free advice for you. This service is strictly limited to individuals that owe the IRS $10,000 or more in back taxes. And if you qualify, we can guarantee that you won't be writing a big fat check to the IRS, or our services cost you nothing. The first 100 people that call today will get a free tax consultation worth $500. Stop worrying about your IRS problem. We can help you, we promise. Call the tax doctor right now. I mean right now, to learn more.
Call 800-917-2187. 800-917-2187. 800-917-2187. That's 800-917-2187.
Out here, in the middle of all these acres, it can feel like you're the only person on Earth. And sometimes, that's how it feels when you're going through tough times. Stress builds up, you have trouble sleeping, maybe your mind is racing and you just don't feel like yourself. So what do? We get help. Lots of people are struggling with their mental health. It's more common than you think. The good news is, there are people in our community who are here for us when times are tough. Sometimes, just talking to someone can make all the difference in the world, so we don't feel so alone. One thing you can do is visit loveyourmindtoday.org for simple steps you can take to find the right solution for you. Whether it's hearing stories about what other people are going through, or finding the resources we need to navigate the stresses in our lives. Visit loveyourmindtoday.org. That's loveyourmindtoday.org. Brought to you by the Huntsman Mental Health Institute and the Ad Council.
We're live here outside the Perez family home, just waiting for the... And there they go, almost on time this morning. Mom is coming out the front door strong with a double-arm kid carry. Looks like Dad has the bags. Daughter is bringing up the rear. Oh, but the diaper bag wasn't closed. Diapers and toys are everywhere. Ooh, but Mom has just nailed the perfect car seat buckle for the toddler. And now the eldest daughter, who looks to be about 9 or 10, has secured herself in the booster seat. Dad zips the bag closed, and they're off. But looks like Mom doesn't realize her coffee cup is still on the roof of the car. And there it goes. Oh, that's a shame. That mug was a fam favorite.
Don't sweat the small stuff. Just nail the big stuff, like making sure your kids are buckled correctly in the right seat for their age and size. Learn more at nhtsa.gov/the right seat.
Visit nhtsa.gov/the right seat.
Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
As veterans, we're no strangers to helping others.
It's what we were taught, trained, and told to do.
It could be for anything. Helping a friend move.
Listening to a fellow veteran for hours, at any hour of the day.
Or just simply making time for people. A neighbor, a loved one, or even a stranger.
We're often the first to help others. There's no question about it.
But we do have one question for the veterans listening.
When was the last time you reached out for help?
Perhaps it's time to do for yourself what you would do for others.
If you or someone you know needs resources, whether it's for stress, finances, employment, or mental health, don't wait. Reach out.
Find more information at va.gov/reach. That's va.gov/reach.
Brought to you by the United States Department of Veterans Affairs and the Ad Council.
We're taking your calls right now at 1-800-39-ONLINE, 1-800-396-6546.
Online tonight.
I don't know who's writing your material, but it's very VH1.
Got to turn the thing on. Hey, thank you so much for joining me. I greatly appreciate it. However you are including me in your day, I truly appreciate it. Whether you're listening live on our AM and FM radio affiliates or online on the stream or checking it out on the YouTube or a podcast or the archive right on the website. By the way, you can always head over to the website, onlinetonight.com, where you can check out the show notes. We put the bookmark this links for each and every hour. You can listen to the archive right there from the webpage, so you don't even have to have like a player or a podcast app. But if you do like the podcast, you can grab those there. Name of the show is Online Tonight. Of course, I am Max. Phone lines are open if you want to give us a chat while we're live. 1-800-39-ONLINE, 1-800-396-6546. Best time to reach me, of course, is while I'm live, Saturdays from 8 to 11 p.m. But if you are not listening live, we've got the text voicemail number, which I promised you last segment I'd give you, 951-395-1017. And that email address, in case you missed it, show, S-H-O-W, show at onlinetonight.com. I have been helping a museum lately. It's a guitar museum. 2,000 plus guitars. They have themed rooms. One is like accordions, one's like banjos, one's drums. And they even have a full stage. They had a band out there not too long ago, and they got their sign outside. It's just vinyl on the window. And the guy who's building the place said to me, you know, I would really like to get like a neon sign. I said, have you looked at the Govee LED ropes? Those are fantastic. You want to look at the Backlight 3 light because they're on sale. They're on sale. Check it out. You can make it look like a neon sign, pick a bunch of different colors, or you can change the colors. You can even have it run, you know, like chasers. And so I shared that with them. And then, of course, they helped the show out. And so, you know, I like to do the right thing. It makes the LEDs behind the TV, or in this case, they're going to hang it on the wall, or they might put it behind the window, behind the vinyl to make it look cool. You can learn more about Govee's products at onlinetonight.com/Govee. And you have to spell it Govee. Sometimes, you know, we mistype it based on the way it sounds, especially on AM stations. So it's Govee. Online Tonight. Oh, with one T. Online. Well, there's two T's, but not together. onlinetonight.com/Govee is the place for the Backlight 3 light. It's weird that the word light isn't twice, but they spell it different. But that's all right. That's fun. Okay. Video game news. I think earlier I talked to you a little bit about how I'm maybe in the market for a PS5. I have PS2s. I have PS3s. I love my PS3. I am obsessed with PS3 games most of the time. That's what I play when I'm streaming online in places like that. But I feel like I'm missing out sometimes, and I'm looking at the PS5 bundle. If money was no object, meaning if I had won the lottery, I would buy the Spider-Man themed PlayStation 5. That's what I'm looking for. But now, I'm not sure, because Sony is restocking the 30th anniversary limited edition DualSense PS5 controller on September 5th, day after my birthday. The controller must be ordered through the PlayStation Store. So it's going to be like an exclusive. You can only get it there. And it will be restocked in the U.S. Apparently, the UK and Canada will also be getting restocks of the 30th anniversary PS5 console and the PS Portal. The controller features the classic PS1 gray color and the red and green and yellow and blue buttons that we're used to. Limited initial pre-orders to PS Plus subscribers is intended to reduce scalper activity. So if you're a PS Plus subscriber, you're going to get first dibs. The original release was in September of 2024. They sold out very quickly. You can get them used, but you usually end up paying a premium, unnecessary premium, as I like to say. Because if it retails for X and then it's online for $2,000, I think it's ridiculous. But, I mean, people are very interesting in their side hustles, and maybe that's one of them. My question is, what if they end up getting stuck with it? I guess if they sell it for $2,000, it's just pure profit, because they could probably still get retail if they haven't opened the thing. That's my guess. All right, Xbox. Stream your own game now includes PCs. Xbox Stream Your Own Game features now work on a PC. It lets users stream supported Xbox games from the cloud onto a PC, and I'm guessing this is a PC running Windows. I haven't checked this out on a Mac yet to see if it works there. It is available to Xbox insiders with Game Pass Ultimate, by the way. You have to have the Ultimate subscription. It follows earlier rollout to Xbox consoles, smart TVs, browsers, mobile devices, and Meta Quest headsets. And now we're adding PCs, or they are adding PCs. Over 250 games are supported, including, and I never say it right, and I apologize, because I like the D&D world, but Baldur's Gate 3. Right, that's a D&D game, from what I understand. I haven't gotten to play it yet because I don't have a PS5. Maybe that's one of the first purchases I'll make. I don't know. Does it roll the dice for you and everything? Does it know what the AC is of the monster and what do I have to roll a 1d8 or a 1d6? It probably knows all of that, and I won't have to worry about it. I could just push a button. In a way, that's kind of cheating, I think. If you don't know anyway. What are some of the other 250 games that are available on this Xbox thing? Star Wars Outlaws, Cyberpunk 2077, Hogwarts Legacy, and a lot of the Assassin's Creed games. Those are all available in this deal. The feature supports only some console-only games, but most of them are already available on PC. But this way, you don't have to buy them individually. I don't think. I think if you're a subscriber, you get to play them, right? I don't know. I'm not an Xbox subscriber. Let me know. 1-800-39-ONLINE. Show at onlinetonight.com. Or send me a text. 951-395-1017. I always want to learn. Benefits includes saving space, skipping downloads. So, yeah, there's stream to you. I'm assuming that you're not going to pay for each individual game. Right? Kind of like Apple Arcade. There's 350 games or 1,000 games or whatever, and I can just play whatever I want. Users must own digital copies of the games they want to stream. Oh, well, helps if you read on. So you do have to buy these. So I have to buy them. If I already have it, why wouldn't I just play it on what I've got? Sometimes some of these services don't make sense to me. Help me understand what I'm missing. That's what I got to say. And don't forget the Game Pass Ultimate is like, what, $25 a month? So that's on top of the cost of my $80 game. Like Baldur's Gate 3 is like $89 for the PS5. I guess I don't. I guess I just don't get it. I'm a gamer, but I guess I'm not like a true gamer or it's just a money grab. I don't know. If I'm going to buy the game for the system that I want, why would I, and get great native performance, why would I then want to add it to my digital subscription and play it on a system it's not optimized for? What am I missing there? Honestly, that's like having a Ferrari. No, it's not. I'm not even going to get into the analogy. Play Switch Lite on a big screen. What they're trying to say is Retro Remake has been developed. They have a modification for the Nintendo Switch that adds an HDMI output. For the Lite version, by the way. The mod is called the Super 5 OLED Touch HDMI mod and includes an OLED display and glass touchscreen. It allows the Switch Lite user to play games like Mario Kart on a larger screen, like 1080p. The mod is no solder, so that's great, and mostly involves just cables. So that is also good because, getting in there, and if you do something wrong, you could brick the thing, and then you're not going to get to use it at all. It's an upgrade for Retro Remake's previous Super 5 OLED Touch mod, which did not have an HDMI output. I don't know what it had. The project took over 18 months of R&D. They had a lot of fails. They spent over $200,000 developing this thing. It reminds me of an old saying from the guy who invented the light bulb. Who was that, Miss Victoria, quickly? Edison, right?
Edison.
Yeah. All right, Edison said, well, you went through 10,000 light bulbs. And Edison said, that's right. I went through 10,000 light bulbs on my way to finding the right light bulb or whatever it was. You know what I mean? So he didn't see them as a failure. He saw them as stepping stones. And I'm sure that's how Super 5 feels about it. Is this something you're interested in? Let me know. 1-800-39-ONLINE, 1-800-396-6546. I'm Max. Stay tuned.
Bon Voyage Urns, we love our pets. We couldn't imagine our lives without them. But we know that when they pass on, we want to treat them with the respect they deserve, because they're family members too. Bon Voyage Urns makes biodegradable, marine-safe urns for the delivery of pets' cremated remains to a beautiful resting place in the Pacific Ocean. Love them while you have them. Give them a proper send-off when it's time. More information at bvurns.com.
Listen up, guys. Are you experiencing any of the following? Fatigue, less drive, poor performance? If so, you may be one of the nearly 30 million men in the U.S. today dealing with ED. But did you know you don't have to pay hundreds for a prescription anymore? And you don't have to deal with the hassle of seeing the doctor or the embarrassment of going to the pharmacy for a certain pill. Now, with one free call, you can find out how Herbal Virility Max can help you feel like a man again. For over a decade, Herbal Virility Max has helped guys just like you put a smile back on their face with improved performance and drive. Call today and ask about our buy one, get one free offer.
800-785-4117. 800-785-4117. 800-785-4117. That's 800-785-4117.
Talking to your kids about the dangers of vaping can be hard. Getting them to listen to hot gossip is easy. So here's some drama you could share with your kid. Dude, did you hear about Cassie and Jake? No, but did you hear that vaping can cause irreversible lung damage and nicotine affects brain development? Nuh-uh. You don't need to gossip if you want to have an open conversation about vaping. So if you want to get tips on when and how to talk to your kids, visit talkaboutvaping.org. Brought to you by the American Lung Association and the Ad Council.
Hi, I'm Ryan Blaney, a third-generation race car driver, and we dedicate a lot of our time to going as fast as possible. My grandpa Lou is the reason why my dad and I started racing, and I'm really proud to follow in his tracks. But when my grandpa was diagnosed with Alzheimer's, it was a very unexpected bump in the road for us. I've learned a lot on this journey with my grandpa Lou, and the memories of my grandpa will always be with me. It's important to notice if older family members are acting differently, experiencing problems with their memory, or having trouble with routine tasks. Talking about Alzheimer's can be really tough, but if you notice something, have a conversation with your loved one. Encourage them to see a doctor or offer to go with them. Early detection of Alzheimer's can give your family time to explore support services, make a plan for the future, and access available treatments. The Alzheimer's Association provides care, support, and research to help you take control of the situation with your family and manage the disease together. If you or your family are noticing changes, it could be Alzheimer's. Talk about seeing a doctor together. Visit alz.org/time to talk. A message from the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
The impact of a meal goes well beyond feeding our bodies, because when people don't have to worry about where their next meal is coming from, they can truly thrive, like Marta.
And now we'll hear from our class valedictorian, who with our hard work never ceases to amaze us. Please welcome Marta Moreno.
And Alex.
Hey, Alex, how did the interview go?
I did it! I got the job! I can't believe it!
I knew it. Let's meet up later to celebrate.
And Diego.
Mom! I got first place at the science fair with my volcano project.
That's amazing, sweetie. Congratulations.
Because when people are fed, futures are nourished, and everyone deserves to live a full life. Join the movement to end hunger at feedingamerica.org/actnow. feedingamerica.org/actnow. A public service announcement brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
They are our cuddlers and coworkers, purr machines and love bugs, and constant companions. They are our pets, our family, and they make life so much better. When we face unexpected challenges in life, so do our pets. That's why we're on a mission to support people who love their pets and the pets who love their people, ensuring these families stay exactly where they belong, together. And you have something to offer. With an open heart and mind, there is nothing you can't do. There's no gesture too small or too big when it comes to helping. Whether donating a bag of kibble, sharing an Instagram post of a lost cat, or welcoming a foster pet into your home, every bit of kindness counts. You can help keep pets and people together. Visit petsandpeopletogether.org to learn how to be a helper in your community. This has been a public service announcement brought to you by Maddie's Fund, the Humane Society of the United States, and the Ad Council.
tonight.
Hey, bookmark this.
All right. Each and every hour, I try to give you a website that you will hopefully find entertaining, educational, or at least useful. And this hour's is carousels.org. Am I saying this right? /NCA censusmap.html. Kind of a complicated one, but carousels, CAROUSELS.org. That's how I'm going to say it. July 25th is National Merry-Go-Round Day. Merry-go-round. I enjoy merry-go-rounds, but what's weird about that is I enjoy watching my family members on a merry-go-round. I don't really like necessarily being on the merry-go-round, but I love watching the enjoyment that other people get, especially family members, my wife, my daughter, my puppy, on the merry-go-round. Obviously, the puppy doesn't go by itself. Some human has to hold it to keep it safe. But I enjoy the merry-go-rounds. And so if you're looking to celebrate with a spin at a local carousel, then this site is perfect for you because you're going to be able to find a carousel, a.k.a. a merry-go-round. I'm just going to call it a merry-go-round because that's a better name. You're going to be able to find the one closest to you by going to this website, whether it's a classic one made out of wood, maybe a metal one. They also have these newer wooden ones that kind of look classic, but they're not. It's going to give you all the details. The site's got information about each and every merry-go-round, as well as a link to their website so you can check out their hours, how much they're going to cost. There used to be some in the malls, and most of them are closed now because, state of malls. I grew up 80s. Malls were a big thing. So there you are. That's this hour's bookmark this. Carousels.org/NCA censusmap.html. This portion of the show is brought to you by Paramount Plus. Throughout July, enjoy men's rugby and the World Rugby U20 Championship on Paramount Plus. Find out all Paramount Plus has to offer at onlinetonight.com/stream, onlinetonight.com/STREAM.
Online tonight.
Somebody's had too much chocolate today, and you're about to find out who. This is Online Tonight. Now, here's Mac.
It's loud. I usually go to this button here, but this time I just left the camera on. All right, a little bit of entertainment pop culture news. I like to throw that in every once in a while. Brooks Partners with Shadowmakers looks like they're going to be making a Young Frankenstein series. FX is the network. They're developing a comedy series titled Very Young Frankenstein. I feel like they're stealing that from Young Sheldon, or I don't know, but and of course it's inspired by the 1974 movie, Mel Brooks movie, starring Gene Wilder and Madeline Kahn and all the other hilarious, funny people.
Such a good movie.
Oh my gosh, it is really good. And that is called what's the name of that movie?
That's called Young Frankenstein.
Young Frankenstein. And so now they're going to title it Very Young Frankenstein, which means it's probably a prequel, right?
Yeah.
Mel Brooks is the executive producer, still alive, still making things. Isn't that amazing? I think it's amazing.
He's like 100.
He just did Spaceballs like a month ago. He announced Spaceballs, a new one coming. And now they're talking about this TV series, Very Young Frankenstein. So I've got high hopes. Kevin Salter is going to be one of the producers, executive producers, or in the business, we like to call them an EP. 3FX, what does that mean? And 3FX, What We Do in the Shadows alum. Oh, yeah. Oh, okay. So
people from the show on FX.
Oh, yeah, that should be fun.
Taika Waititi, baby.
Sure. Disney's 20th Century Fox will be producing the show. What does that mean? Paying Mel Brooks and the writers and those people.
Did you say 20th Century Fox?
Disney's 20th Century Television, which used to be that other name. And so they're going to be working with some of the producers of the original film. And Michael's going to join as an EP, I think. Young Frankenstein was a parody of the 1930s monster movies featuring Gene Wilder, Miss Leachman, who we've interviewed a few times, and many others, as we've already talked about. Details about, oh, by the way, just complete tangent here. Gene Wilder, apparently, this was his baby, and he fought Mel Brooks and the studios occasionally to make sure that his vision was met of what he wanted to do. And the studios didn't want it in black and white. And he said, you know what? Forget it then. I'm not going to make it. And then they backed off. Can you imagine if this movie was not in black and white? Would it have been as good?
No.
I think that artistic choice was fantastic. You?
Yeah,
You
absolutely.
agree? Yeah. I mean, absolutely. We already mentioned the 2027 Spaceballs thing that's coming out. Stephanie Robinson has a strong history with FX shows, including What We Do in the Shadows and Fargo and some of those others. That person's involved. We already mentioned Taika Waititi and some others. They're going to be collaborating on the series. And Deadline was the first to report the news, so we should give them credit for that. I think I ended up seeing it maybe in Variety or The Hollywood Reporter, but don't quote me on that. I can't remember my exact source. But Deadline had it first. I think I got it from Hollywood Reporter or Variety. So I wanted to share that with you because I'm very, very excited. What's funny was I mentioned that museum, that guitar museum, and they're going to start having a night at the museum, jam sessions. One night will be jazz, another one will be blues, another one will be rock, and so on and so forth. And immediately I thought of the Ben Stiller movie. And then I come in today and I learn that they're going to reboot A Night at the Museum, the movie. And I'm thinking, wow, this is so weird that all of these things kind of overlap lately. I've had a lot. What is that called? When not coincidence, not synergy, but
synchronicity.
That might be it. The new movie will feature new characters and an original storyline, not revisiting Ben Stiller's character, Larry Daly, from the original trilogy. So apparently they're going to do something different. Sean Levy, who directed the original movies and its sequels, will produce the reboot along with Dan Levin and Emily Morris. One of my favorite characters, of course, was Robin Williams as the general who rode around on a horse. Unfortunately, he's not going to be able to make it. But if they're not really doing the Ben Stiller kind of thing, then they don't need Owen. Help me.
Wilson.
Owen Wilson. And some of the other characters that we know and love. So I'm looking forward to see what happens with that. Just really quick, in passing, the live-action version of Lilo and Stitch was so good. I've heard two rumors. One, they've already greenlit a sequel, live-action, to the movie. And two, Stitch's Great Escape may come back as an attraction at Florida Disney World. I am on board for that. Don't forget, if you missed any portion of the show, please head over to onlinetonight.com where you can check out the show notes and subscribe to the podcast. I'm Max. Stay tuned.
Online Tonight is produced and copyrighted by Smart Family Media. All rights reserved. Host Maxwell Smart. Producer and other hats worn by Victoria Smart. Views and opinions expressed are those of the host, guest, and callers, and are not necessarily those of this station, its management, affiliates, or other advertisers.
You're listening to a best of Online Tonight. No calls are being taken.
Online Tonight.
What do you know from funny, you bastard?
Hey.
And now, from the craziest city on the planet, this is Online Tonight, on the air toll-free at 1-800-39-ONLINE, 1-800-396-6546. And now, the host of Online Tonight, Max.
Welcome to Online Tonight. In some markets, this is hour 2. If you're listening to the podcast, it's definitely hour 2. I want you to come aboard. I've been expecting you. I want you to think of me as your cruise director, Max, here to guide you through the adventures in tech, pop culture, and more. I'm more like the onboard engineer, really, because I like to help you tackle those tech issues that you have that might be troubling you. No question is too small or silly or unimportant, and I encourage you to call because your question might help somebody else. That's what I've learned. It's fun to be an active participant, and you will get your problem solved, hopefully, and you might help somebody else. It's like a twofer. It's a bonus. It's like BOGO. So give me a call, 1-800-39-ONLINE, 1-800-396-6546, while we're live every Saturday and Sunday from 8 to 11 p.m. Pacific time. That's 11 p.m. to 2 a.m. Eastern time. And I got a message from my friends in the Caribbean and Puerto Rico, and they said we are an hour ahead of the East Coast until the 9th of March, and then we have the same time. I did not know that. I thought they were always in sync, in line with the East Coast. So again, I learned something, and that's a lot of fun. At least it is for me.
This portion of the show is brought to you by Mint Mobile. Hey, it's not Ryan Reynolds. Mint Mobile is cheaper than those big carriers. So you don't have to buy your socks from the thrift store. Ew. And it must be good, because Ryan's mom was in a commercial. Go get something good at olttv.com/mint. That's olttv.com/mint. I don't have to spell mint, right?
Victoria's taking your calls. She's going through your texts and your emails and your voicemails. If you're not listening live, or maybe you're just being shy, or you listen to us via the archive or podcast during the week, you can reach out via email or our text voicemail combo number. The voicemail text combo number, 951-395-1017. That's 951-395-1017. Data rates may apply. Leaving a voicemail is your authorization to broadcast your likeness. We also take your emails. show@onlinetonight.com. show@onlinetonight.com. That and the text number work 24/7. The 800 number only works during the show. Excuse me, I've shared. I was talking, just a complete aside, because I was talking to my cousin, and he said to me, would you like a piece of cake? I said, I don't like cake. And he goes, you're not telling me the truth. I said, why do you say that? He says, you eat ding-dongs and ho-hos. And so I'm going to ask Miss Victoria if she's got a second. Are ding-dongs and ho-hos cake?
Yes.
All right, then.
They have cake in them.
Well, I don't think of them as cake.
It's
I don't
very,
really like
I mean,
cake.
it's such a small portion of cake compared to like a big slice.
When you and I go to a wedding, or we go to anywhere, and they have cake, do I not 90% of the time pass?
You do.
Because I have convinced myself I don't like cake, but I'll eat a whole box of ding-dongs.
Sometimes you'll eat a cupcake.
Well, I like those red velvet cupcakes with the right kind, not the bad frosting, but the good frosting.
The cream cheese frosting?
Yeah. So I'm talking about food. People say, what are you doing? Well, Online Tonight, we talk about tech, pop culture, and more. And more includes food and video games and theme parks and comic books, things like that. And for whatever reason, I am craving a ho-ho / ding. Are they the same thing? A ho-ho and a ding-dong? Are they the same?
No. A ho-ho is like a Swiss roll.
Oh. What is the East Coast version of a ding-dong? Does it have a different name? Is a moon pie?
No, not
cake?
a moon pie.
Is that cake?
There's something called a yodel, but I'm not sure if that's the ho-ho version or...
Because we have
I'll have to look it up.
Hostess on the West Coast, and you have Dolly Madison on the East Coast, right? They had to have had the same product. Twinkies are everywhere, right?
What they have Hostess on the East Coast.
They do now?
Here we go.
Dolly
Yodels are made by Drake's. And ho-hos are made by Hostess. Ding-dongs.
All right. Well, I'm going to get back into tech news because I don't know. I'm craving food, obviously. I don't know why.
Big Wheel.
Big Wheel? What
Drake's
is that?
makes something called Big Wheel, which is like a ding-dong.
Okay. Well, there you go for my East Coast friends. An android robot at a Chinese festival. It malfunctioned last month, February. That was like a whole day ago. That was last month. It charged the crowd in a town that I'm not even going to try to pronounce. The organizers called it a robotic failure, attributing the incident to a software glitch. We're going to talk about robots a little bit in this segment because there's a fear. One of the fears is that the robots are going to take over and start, Terminator, like the movie Terminator. And we know we're in big trouble when the robots start making themselves. Hint, hint. Anyway, so this occurred. I like how they make these nondescript failures, like when SpaceX has an unexpected, unrecoverable, whatever, a RUD. It means that the rocket ship went kaplooey, blew up. So here they're calling it a robotic failure. The robot was developed by Unitree Robotics and has passed what they call safety checks before this event in China occurred. The incident adds to a series of AI malfunctions, including some that have happened over there in some factories. They had a rogue AI drone, and then apparently they had an overworked robot in South Korea that may have reacted to its environment and was saying, "I've had enough." I don't know really how robots do that, but that's okay. Social media, of course, jumped in with satire and fear, reflecting the growing concerns over AI safety. Experts warn that AI systems are prone to glitches, and global regulations lag behind technological advancements. I had a tour of a Ford factory, I think in Dearborn. Was it Dearborn, Michigan? No. It was in Detroit, right? Where's the Detroit factory? Where they have the museum, the Ford Museum. Where's the Ford Museum? Deerhead. Deer something.
It's Dearborn, I believe.
Okay, Dearborn, yeah. So they have like an F-150 factory there, and I think they made some other things there. The robots are behind big, thick walls of glass, plexiglass or whatever, so they can't break it. So if they freak out or parts start flying off them, nobody gets hurt. So the debate is continuing on how much control humans truly have over AI and its presence in daily life. A recent study from the University of Bremen has said that people who see robots with eyes think the robot has a mind. Research suggests that humans are more likely to attribute consciousness and emotions to a robot with eyes. 2 experiments were conducted with over 300 participants using AI-generated images of humanoid robots with and without eyes. The first experiment used self-evaluation questions to assess perceptions of robot self-control, thoughts, emotions. The second experiment used the implicit association test, also known as IAT, to measure subconscious bias. The results showed that robots with eyes are perceived to have higher levels of agency and experience. And then, as promised, this new company is working with Jebel to have robots build robots. The Apollo is a 5'8" tall robot that can carry 55 pounds. They're currently used in warehouses and are being tested by Mercedes-Benz. And they are now scaling their production, and they have other Apollo robots building the Apollo robots. And this is where people start to freak out. Are you freaking out? Let me know. 1-800-39-ONLINE, 1-800-396-6546. I'm not freaking out. Stay tuned.
Looking for a one-of-a-kind gift or to complete your own collection? Sumerian Collection offers a wide variety of vintage goods with new items added weekly. Books, collectibles, clothing items, jewelry, gadgets, and gizmos galore. Many items are from the 1960s, 70s, and 80s, but exclusive finds from earlier time periods become available as well. Rare vintage items include dolls from around the world and foreign language books. Online shopping at Sumerian Collection is a breeze, with Etsy's secure payment processing and shipping to U.S. locations included free with every purchase. Visit SumerianCollection.etsy.com to see what's new and vintage this week. SAMERIAN Collection.etsy.com. SAMERIAN Collection.etsy.com. Sumerian Collection.
Do a search on how to get out of credit card debt, and you'll find everything from crazy promises to ways you can try to do it yourself. Many of those ideas just don't work, and they leave you broker than you were. Here's some advice. Call our debt helpline. In a quick and free 5-minute conversation, our experts will listen to you and learn about how much credit card debt you have, what your goals are, and then show you the right solution to help you get out of credit card debt with one new simple, affordable payment. The credit card companies make available special programs to help if you're struggling. All it takes for you to finally get out of credit card debt is one quick, free phone call. So please call right now.
800-515-6348. 800-515-6348. 800-515-6348. That's 800-515-6348. Paid for by the Debt Helpline.
Most people out here think that taking care of one another is important. And most people would step up for a neighbor going through a tough time. Most people around here help out friends and family when they need it. But the funny thing is, most of us won't look for help when we need it. If you're struggling with mental health, you should know that there are resources out there that can help. And it's okay to talk about it if you need to. One place to get started with information is loveyourmindtoday.org. Loveyourmindtoday.org offers a range of guides, instructions, and insights for dealing with difficult situations or getting through a tough time. If you're struggling with mental health, get the help you need, because most people out here really care. Visit loveyourmindtoday.org. That's loveyourmindtoday.org. Brought to you by the Huntsman Mental Health Institute and the Ad Council.
The Native community is big for me. Makes me feel good to pass on our Arapaho traditions. My kids love going up to the Sundance. I like to tell people the Sundance is about family. It's about the tribe. It's not just about the dancer. It's kind of like life. As a Sundancer, I'm just one spoke in the wheel. I need my family there. I need my role models. I need my people there, especially my children. You know, coming in that door, my family is ready to see me and they believe in me. Before, I'd never seen that from my people. But now when I walk in that door and I see those smiling faces and they're happy to see me, that's special. With my 4 kids, all I ask for them in Arapaho ways is health and happiness. Nothing more, nothing less.
Never stop being a dad. That's dedication. Find out more at fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.